Sorry to be a bit late. We have the agenda for today's meeting in the invite, and I guess we should just start by introducing any new participants to the call. For those who don't know me, hi, I'm Nico Aragon. I work with Aaron, who's co-founder and chair for SIG Testing, and very happy to be here. I see Alvaro on the call and Catherine. I feel like I know a lot of people on the call, except for Santil and Mayank. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, so it's really good to part of this meeting today. So I'm joining after a long time. So basically I'm part of the Conformance working group and look after like
Mayank, you were breaking up for me. I couldn't quite hear you. Can you go again?
Okay, so can you hear me now? Is it good?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Cool. So I'm joining this meeting since after a long time, but I'm much more closely working on the Conformance working group, and especially to promote what E2E can be promoted to Conformance. And I closely work with the Aaron and John Bellameric.
Okay, thanks for the introduction, and great to meet you.
Yeah.
Santil, what about you?
Hi. Hi. My name is Senthil, and I work for Mesosphere, which is currently now called as D2IQ. I am a user of Kubernetes, and I am the tech lead at Mesosphere for the developer productivity department. And I kind of like use the test infra repo and set up the Prow instance and set up the Kubernetes workflow for our projects internally. And I hang out at the Kubernetes Slack, sometimes asking questions. And then I think I must have had some PRs against it too. But yeah, my involvement has been minimal. But when I saw this meeting invite and I saw that there's an agenda, so I thought I'll familiarize myself with the process more and be involved.
That sounds great. Thank you for joining us and looking forward to your contributions. Very excited. Okay, if anyone hasn't yet added their names to the meeting agenda, please do. I think we can get started and talk about sub-project updates. So the first item in the agenda was kind. And I'm not sure if Ben is on the call. Let me ping Ben. Give me just a second, I'll ping Ben. Sorry for the wait. Ben is joining. So let's give Ben a few minutes. Perhaps in the meantime, we can chat about testing comments. Does anyone have updates on testing comments? Anyone who is on the call?
No updates on testing comments. We actually haven't met for a couple of weeks. One because of VMworld, and then because of a holiday in the US. And right now, the big part of our work refactoring the test framework, it's on hold until the master branch of Kubernetes is open again. So really nothing to update.
Thank you, Alejandro. We also had updates from Test Infra. There's an issue open to track the release of milestone v1.16. Does anyone have an update on milestone v1.16? I will take the crickets as no, there's no update, and I think we can chat about kind. I see Ben on the call. Ben, any updates for kind?
I didn't realize this was on the agenda. So we've released 0.5 and then 0.5.1, which was a small patch fixing Windows. And we've done a lot of work on error reporting and debug logging to make it easier to figure out why it's not working in strange environments. And we're hopefully going to be shipping a number of those improvements in the next release, which is pending in about a week or so, but we might push it back to shore them up a little bit more.
Okay, that's great. That's great progress. Very cool. Last item on the agenda is he has a list of merged PRs for Test Infra. Does anyone have any PRs that they want to follow up on, or that they feel like have not had attention or are waiting? Right, I'll take that as people being good in terms of PRs and follow-ups. I can probably help out paying you so that we curate the agenda before our upcoming meeting 2 weeks from now. Is there anything else anyone wanted to talk about and that was not in the agenda for today?
Yeah, I just wanted to briefly ask for anyone who's interested to take a look at the link that I just added to the meeting notes. It's just some notes that I'll turn into a design doc. It's halfway to design doc already, though. But it's just about adding some generalized tooling that we can use between all the different Prow instances for updating and deploying Prow itself. Right now, there's a lot of bespoke stuff that's out there, and it'd be nice to provide that bundled with Prow.
Thank you for bringing that up, Cole. Is that the link under Prow in sub-project updates?
No, I put it underneath the open discussion section.
Okay. Do you want to tell the people on the call a bit more about what the proposed changes are about and what the before and after looks like?
Sure. So there's a couple things that this proposal is discussing. The idea is to kind of get a lot of the experience that we have for the main Kubernetes Prow instance available for other instances. There's some things that the Kubernetes Prow instance will need to do that other instances won't, such as like actually publishing images and stuff like that. So this tooling is more meant for other Prow instances. We might not even actually use it on the main Kubernetes instance. But yeah, so the core tooling will be some utility that will just like Prow's auto bumper, will run on a schedule, perhaps a daily, and create or update a PR on GitHub to update all the versions of the Prow components. So this way, if you have a Prow instance, you can add this Prow job, and it will automatically create or update a PR that all you have to do is approve. And when you approve it, the changes will get checked in for updating your deployments. And then you can have a post-submit job, which is easier to set up, and for which I've written a script to set up the credentials for, that will actually deploy whenever those deployment files are changed. So that's an easy way to define the state of your cluster in Git and have all of that controlled with GitOps. I assume a lot of people are already following this, but they're probably running, letting Tide merge their changes and then running a make file to deploy or something like that. This makes it all possible to do through GitHub. There's a couple of questions that can be hard about this, though, which is, in particular, which version do we update to? Like, how do we pick a version tag? You would think we just want to pick the latest version that's available, but unfortunately, that's not necessarily a stable version. Like, we haven't necessarily tested that version. It, of course, passed, all the code passed pre-submits, but we haven't necessarily had a real pro instance use it. So it's better to bump to versions that we have run the Kubernetes pro instance on and validated a little bit. Right now, there's not really an easy way to determine what that is without digging through the Git history. So I think at the bottom of this document, there's also a discussion about tagging stable versions. And I think the summary of it is that currently we push our images to the Kate's Prow GCR bucket. And I think that we should stop pushing all of our images there and push all of our images to a Kate's Prow Edge bucket instead, and then promote them to the Kate's Prow bucket as part of our on-call cycle. Just whenever we bump, if there's been a job that's been, or if there's been a version that we validated for a day without rolling back or having any problems, we can label that as a safe version and promote it to the more stable GCR repo. That would make it so that it's always safe to bump to any image version in that repo. And I think with that, I've got some ideas about some tooling that we can do to automate that. So similar to the auto bump job, we would just have to approve a PR if the previous version was stable, and if it is, then it would automatically get tagged. So no scripts that anybody has to run.
Definitely sounds very useful, and it will help make it so that the versions that we publish are easier to consume. People don't have to worry about will it be stable or not. We can guarantee that up front. Definitely a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's a little silly that we publish a bunch of images that aren't necessarily good to use right now.
Thank you for sharing the design doc. Any particular way you want to get feedback on that? Is that straight comments on the doc, or?
Yeah, it's kind of just notes right now. I haven't really turned it into a full design doc yet, but I'm just getting people's opinions, and then I'll maybe improve it a little bit, or at least add my actual proposal there. I've done a little initial work. I think this is going to be pretty straightforward and like the right approach. But I just wanted, if anybody's got any better ideas on ways to do things, that would certainly be great to hear about now.
Does anybody have any inputs for Cole's proposal? I'll take silence, as perhaps people need to read through it first, and maybe that's a good item for the next meeting. We should bring up the proposal and have a conversation about it after people have had time to read through the doc. Would that help?
The next meeting's in 2 weeks, and I hope to have made some significant progress on it by then.
Okay.
So that would help, but I think it's a little too late in the future.
Okay. Is there a time when it'd be best for you to receive feedback? Maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean just leave comments on the document, I guess. Or you can certainly ping me on Slack, and we can start a Slack thread about it if there's needs to be more discussion about it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Anything else in anyone's mind?
No.
Okay, Cynthia, since you're just getting started and you're thinking of contributing, if you need any help, feel free to reach out on Slack, and we're more than happy to take feedback from you. And I hope it will be a great experience getting started contributing to Pro and Test Infra.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you for meeting, everybody. See you 2 weeks from now. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you. Bye bye.